Welcome to Channel Academy. In today's class, we'll be talking about the property of the 4 basic arithmetic operation in mathematics. And if you don't know the 4 basic operation in mathematics, please do well to watch our previous video. We talked about it, and we talked about the different signs and symbols in mathematics. So the first property we'll be talking about is the commutative property of addition. It means changing the order doesn't change the result, or doesn't change the sum. Say for example, we have A plus B. It is same thing as B plus A. If A is 7 and B is 5, it will be the same thing as 5 plus 7. 7 plus 5 is 12, and 5 plus 7 is 12. So it's the same. The left hand side is same as the right hand side. That's for the addition. So let's check on the subtraction. So let's check the commutative property of the subtraction. Like we said, the change of order doesn't change the results. So let's see if it's true for subtraction too. So let's say A minus B equal to B minus A. If A is 7 and B is 3, is it the same thing as 3 minus 7? So you see 7 minus 3, we have 4. 3 minus 7, we have minus 4, which means A minus B is not equal to B minus A. So 7 minus 3 is not equal to 3 minus 7. So therefore, subtraction is not commutative. Subtraction is not commutative. So note this: subtraction is not commutative, addition is commutative. So the next one is multiplication. So let's see if multiplication is commutative. So A multiply by B equal to B multiply by A. Say A is 2 multiply by B is 3, B 3 multiply by 2. So 2 times 3, the answer is 6. 3 times 2, the answer remains 6. So therefore, multiplication is commutative because the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So multiplication is commutative. Next one is division. So let's check if division is commutative. So A divide by B equal B divide by A. Let's say A is 10 and B is 2. So 2 divide by 10. So 10 divided by 2, the result is 5. 2 divided by 10, the result will be 0. The result will be 0.2, which means division is not commutative because the left hand side is not equal to the right hand side. So division is not what? Commutative. The next property we'll be looking at is the associative property of the addition. So what's the associative property? What does it mean? So associative property says that grouping doesn't affect the sum or the result. So let's give an example. Say A plus B plus C is the same as A plus B plus C. So if you look at the left hand side, the bracket, the A and B are in the brackets. That's the A and the B are in the bracket. If you look at the right hand side, the B and the C are in the brackets. So that's the difference between the left and the right hand side. Alright, so let's say if A is equal to 4 plus 2 plus 3, A is 4, B is 2, and C is 3. So according to board mathematics, we solve the elements in the bracket before we solve what is outside the bracket. Don't worry, we'll talk about board maths in our later video. So 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 3, 4 plus 2 plus 3 is 5. So 6 plus 3, the result is 9. 4 plus 5, the result is 9. So the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So addition is associative. It has an associative property. So let's check subtraction, the next one. That now is the associative property of subtraction. So let's check. Say A minus B minus C equal to A minus B minus C. So 7, A is 7, minus B is 5, and C is 3, equal to 7 minus 5 minus 3. So 7 minus 5, the result is 2, minus 3. 7 minus 5 minus 3, the result is 2. So we have 2 minus 3, the result is minus 1. 7 minus 2, the result is 5. So it means that it is not associative. So this symbol means not equal to. If you watch our previous video, we explained it there. So this symbol I just cycle. Let me cycle it. This symbol I cycled. Sorry. This symbol I cycled means not equal to. So if you've been confused why I stroke it, it means not equal to. Alright, so with this we know that subtraction is not associative, because the right hand side, that's the left hand side, is not equal to the right hand side. Alright, I hope you understand. Let's move on. So the next one we'll be looking at is the associative property of multiplication. So let's check if multiplication is associative. A multiply by B multiply by C equal to A multiply by B multiply by C. If A assume the value of 4 and B assume the value of 3, multiply by, let's say, 5 equal to 4 multiply by 3 multiply by 5. So now we are checking if multiplication is associative. So 4 multiply by 3, what's the result? 12. Multiply by 5 equal to 4 multiply. So 3 multiply by 5, the result is 15. So 12 multiply by 5, the result is 60. And if you check 15 multiply by 4, the result is also 60. So it means that multiplication has associative property, because the left hand side is same thing as the right hand side. Okay, I hope you get what I'm. Alright, so let's move to the next one. So the next one we'll look at is the associative property of division. So let's check if division has associative property. Okay, A divide by B divide by C equal to A divide by B divide by C. Let's say A is 16 divide by 8 divide by 2 equal to 16 divide by 8 divide by 2. So 16 divided by 8, the result is 2 divide by 2, 16. 8 divided by 2, the result is 4. So 2 divided by 2, the result is 1. 16 divided by 4, the result is 4. So you see, division doesn't have, so they are not equal to. The left hand side is not equal to the right hand side. So the next property we'll be talking about is the identity property for addition. So let's put in writing. Let's say 5 plus A, the result is 5. So what is A? A is the identity of 5. So the identity of addition is 0, because if you add any value or any element to 0, the result will still be that element. If you try 7 plus 0, the result will still be 7. So 0 is the identity element for addition. I hope you understand. So 0 is the identity element for addition. So identity property of subtraction. Let's say 9 minus a. The result is 9. So what is this a that will result to 9? Which value do you think? Correct. The value is 0. 9 minus 0 will give you 9. Any value you subtract 0 from will give you that value. Let's say 20 minus 0, the result is still 20. So 0 is also the identity property of subtraction. So any value you subtract, if you subtract 0 from any value, you get that value. Alright, so let's move on to the so the next one we are looking at is the identity property of the multiplication. What do you think will be the identity element of multiplication? What do you think you can multiply with an element that will give you that same element? Okay, so let's say a multiply by 1. The answer is a. What that means is if a assume the value of 4 multiplied by 1, the answer is still 4. So that's what we mean by the identity. So 1 is the identity element for multiplication. Any element you multiply with 1 will give you that same element. So 1 is the identity element for multiplication. Alright, so let's check the next one. So the next one now is identity property of the division. So let's see if we have a divide by 1, the answer remains a. Like say a take the value of 3, divide by 1, the answer is 3. So seeing this, you can tell that 1 is also the identity element for division. Any number you divide by 1 will give you that number. Alright, so the next one is closure property of addition. So for us to be able to explain what is the closure property of addition, we have to understand what closure means. Now, the closure property states that if we perform a mathematical operation, that's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, on any number from a set, the result should also belong to that set. I know you may not know what a set, but I believe you might. However, if you don't know what a set is, just look out for our next video, or subscribe and hit the notification bell, so when we post the video about set, you'll be the first to receive the notification and you watch that video. So now let's give an example. Like I said earlier, we'll talk about the different type of number in our next video, so look out for that video. So in closure, let's say this is additional natural numbers. So natural numbers are whole numbers such as 1, 2, 3, and so on. We'll talk about different type of number in our next video, so just watch out for that. Natural, sorry, my writings are Okay, natural numbers. These are now the set of natural numbers are like 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, so addition, let's see if it is closure. Say 2 plus 5. What's the result? 2 plus 5 is 7, and 7 is also a natural number. So that means addition is closed under natural numbers. I hope you understand. So let's check the next subtraction. All right, so please, if you have any question, feel free to use the comment section. I'll be very glad to reply you or make a video concerning your question or any topic you want us to talk about. But for now, so let's talk about closure property of subtraction. Now, whole numbers. Let's talk about whole numbers. Like I said, we'll talk about the different types of numbers. Now, whole numbers are numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay, so let's say 5 minus 4. The answer is 1. 1 is a whole number. How about we try 3 minus 7? The answer is definitely going to be minus 4. And for those of you who don't know how we got minus 4, don't worry, we'll talk about number line in our video, so check out for that video. So this is not a whole number. Sorry, this value is not a whole number, so we can't say. So with this we can say subtraction is not closed under whole numbers. 3 minus 7 will give us a negative value. A negative value is not a whole number. All right, so I hope you understand that. So let's talk about the next. All right, so the next one we'll be talking about is the multiplication. So now we are going to check multiplication under integers. Now, integers are value from let's say minus 3, minus 2, minus minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Let me take out. So and so on. Because of the space, I took out the 3, but we have 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So let's check if multiplication is closed under integers. So let's say we have 2 multiplied by 4. What will be the answer? The answer will be 8. Let's check negative value. Minus 3 multiplied by, let's put this in the bracket form, multiplied by 4. What will be the answer? The answer is negative 12. And you can see that 8 is an integer, and 2 minus 12 is also an integer. So we can say that multiplication is closed under integers. I hope you understand. So the next we'll be checking now is the closure property of the division. We are going to check that under the integers. I gave you the value for integers when I was talking about the multiplication, so I won't do that. Or let me just keep that so that integers they assume values like minus dot sorry they assume values minus 2 comma minus 1 0 1 2 and so on. So we are going to check if division is closed under integers. So let's see, 6 divide by 3, the answer is 2, and this is an integer. How about try 5 divide by 2? The value will be, if 5 divide by 2, value 2.5, and this is not an integer. So 2 is an integer, 2.5 is not an integer. So we can say that division is not closed, does not have closure property. So however, at the end of this video, I'm going to give us a table to explain everything I've been saying. All right, so there are some property we'll talk about that are special to some of the operations, not all, like the zero property. It's special to multiplication, so zero property of the multiplication. The zero property of multiplication. So we'll talk about this. So this property says any value or element multiplied by the number 0 will give you 0. Say for example, a multiply by 0, the value will be 0. If a assume the value of 7 multiply by 0, the result will still be 0. Even if a assume the value of 900 multiply by 0, the result will still be 0. So that's what the zero property says about the multiplication. Alright, so let's check the next one. Alright, so let's talk about the zero property of the division. So division, so the zero property of the division is quite a bit different. So let's say a divide by 0. What's the result? Just hold on. Let's assume a takes a value of 10. Divide by 0. If you have your calculator with you, just type 10 divided by 0. The result you have is error, and sometimes they'll tell you undefined. So any element that is divided by 0, the result is always undefined. What does this mean? It means cannot be divided. It's an error. 0 cannot divide any value. So this is error. Like it's going to give you an error message. It cannot be divided. I hope you understand. So the next is let's clean this off. It has two properties. That's the first one. So the next one is okay. So the next one is if any element divides 0, the answer will be 0. So let's say 0 divide by a, the answer is 0, under a condition that if a is not equal to 0, meaning a cannot be 0. Remember we talked about the previous property that any value that is divided by 0 is going to be undefined. So long as the question is not 0 divided by 0, which is going to be undefined, if a assume any other value, the answer is going to be 0. Say for example, 0 divided by 9, the result is going to be 0. 0 divided by 6, the result is still going to be 0. So any value that is dividing 0, so long as the value is not equal to 0, the result will be 0. What I mean is, if a is a value and it has to divide 0, it will result to 0 so long as the value a is not 0, is not equal to 0. I hope you remember this symbol. It means not equal. Not equal. That's what the value means. Alright, that's for this property, the 0 property of division. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, so the next one we'll be looking at is distributive property of multiplication over addition and subtraction. So let me say over addition and subtraction. So let's see what the property is talking about. So if we have a multiply b plus c, same thing as a multiply by b plus a multiply by c. Okay, so we can also see a multiply by b, that's for the subtraction now, and c, same thing as a multiply by b subtracting a multiply by c. Let's take example. Okay, example for the addition: 5 multiply by 3 plus 2 equal to 5 multiply by 3 plus 5 multiply by 2. what would the value be? So 3 plus 5 multiply 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 10. So the value of this 5 times, let's write the other result in this little box because our board is already filled up. 5 multiplied by 5, the result will be 25. So 15 plus 10, the result is 25. So our answer, the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, which means it's distributive over addition. So let's try the subtraction. Let's see if it's also distributive over the subtraction. Alright, so let's also use the same example. 5 multiply by 3 minus 2 equal to 5 multiply by 3 minus 5 multiply by 2. So the result for this side will be 5 multiply 3 minus 2, the result is 1, equal to 5 multiplied by 3 is 15 minus 5 multiplied by 2, the result is 10. So let's put the other part in this little box. So 5 multiplied by 1, the result is 5. 15 minus 10, the result is 5. So you can see that multiplication is distributive over addition and subtraction. Alright, so because of time, we've spent a lot of time in this video, so I'll be giving the summary table for the properties in the next video. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so when I drop the video, you'll be the first to receive it. And if you have any question concerning this class, you can drop it on the comment section. Thank you and bye for now.